Shall we play a game?
We got one person online. The workload is enough for like 10 users. I think we got a hacker.
Shall we play a game?
Hey, it is June the 19th. It is 0912, and this is your morning brief. Looking around the world, it's kind of there's a couple of there was a 0 day for a Firefox browser. Again, recommend patch, update, keep that third-party stuff patched. But I noticed a story talking about, the medical debt collector, AMCA. So obviously they were part of, that massive breach. They gained access to millions of patients' personal information, and they filed for bankruptcy protection. You can imagine that's kind of interesting because they're trying to shield themselves for 18 months from creditors' lawsuits, any money it's owed, demanded, and till it gets his finances order. But it is interesting. I mean, this is where we talk about the impact of a breach and how it can basically just take a company down. And this wasn't a small company. This was a huge company, and you can imagine that was a huge hack, and it took a big company down very quickly, basically big enough to put its future in doubt. I mean, all it's doing, when they filed as Chapter 11, it's just allowing the company to shore up its finances without, sort of the threat of creditors and aggressive collection agencies. And I'm just reading that from one of the stories. But, it is interesting that, now, we're at the point where some of these breaches can take down some really big organizations. It's not about damage control. It's about, hey, this is just taking you down. This company no longer is going to probably be effective. So that's kind of an interesting part that I thought to myself, wow, that's, when you take a step back, this is why it's important what we do. Just the mere fact of maybe, a mistake, maybe putting something out, a mistake, misconfiguration, temporary cracker procedure, all the stuff that Red Spy is designed to spot. If we don't do those basics and get those things sorted, then potentially the impact and the exposure is huge. So if you're a company out there with lots and lots of data, lots and lots of PII, and you understand single loss expectancy, annual loss expectancy, and you're doing your due diligence and you're trying to put everything into place that you can, you're in better shape than some companies. But you can imagine that the potential fallout on a large breach that literally will take your company down. And these aren't necessarily just small companies. This is a big company trying to sort itself out. Imagine sort of medium and small companies. So it's always nice to understand that what we do actually counts. What we do can save the company on a daily basis. Alternatively, obviously, what we don't do can, destroy the company on a daily basis. So this is why I think the importance of security is very underrated at times. And I think it is starting to get through to sort of the C-level personnel that, hey, look, you know what? If you're responsible for large amounts of data, you better act responsibly. Anyway, on that sobering note, really to understand exactly what we do and how important it is, and bearing in mind, someone I remember a statistic from a while back. Someone pointed out that when a company goes under, or for every 5 companies that go under, there's usually a suicide. So bearing in mind that, what we do has not just real world physical impact, but it has, impact on other people's lives as well as our own. Again, technically wise, there's as I said, that Firefox critical patch to update an ongoing 0 day. Bear in mind that we need to make sure that all this third-party stuff is patched as well. Continuously trying to gain access and continuously trying to do things. So we have to continuously remain vigilant. And that 0916, and that was your morning brief.
Shall we play a game?
We got one person online. The workload is enough for like 10 users. I think we got a hacker.